Hey, how's it going, guys? Jack and Matt here with the Toasty Bros, and today we're talking about how we fixed the all-Wish built gaming PC.
We built this Wish PC, well, a few weeks ago, and of course the graphics card that was in it was fake. We looked back at the footage and honestly I can't believe that we fell for this card, but we did. We own up to it. But what we did was add a new graphics card to it and it works perfectly fine. So we're gonna go over that, the upgrade we made, and also give you all some suggestions on what you can get if you do want to buy from Wish, even though we don't really recommend it. But before we talk about this PC, let's hear a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by GVGMall, an online marketplace to gain access to some really awesome discounted game keys and more specifically, Windows 10 licenses.
Make sure you use code TB20 at checkout to get 20% off your purchase, and it's really easy to activate Windows. All you have to do is take that product key they send you, literally copy and paste it, click activate, and boom, you have Windows 10 Pro activated, ready to go.
Link in the description down below will link you to Windows 10. Use TB20, save some money, activate Windows. Don't let friends use unactivated Windows. It's not good. Don't let it happen. Goodbye.
So this, ladies and gentlemen, is a fake GPU. What do we mean by that? It's a real GPU. It does display out, it works, it goes in the system. You have 3 ports that do in fact work. And look at this, it says GTX 964 gig, that's what we paid for. But there's a few things that make it really obvious that it's fake, because this is actually a GTX like 450 or 550, which is way inferior to a 960. Like, I mean, not even close to that. Like, this really can't even game at this point. But one of the things that makes this pretty obvious from the start is any new card is not going to have VGA anymore. Like, I'd say after like the GTX 9000 series and above, they just don't do VGA. They typically are all gonna have like 4 ports, 5 ports, and they'll just look a lot nicer than this on the I/O portion. Now for the fans, this is another dead giveaway. You notice this cooler doesn't look like any other cooler you're gonna find. There's no logos on it. That's what all of these companies do, is they just slap their own heat sinks on here and their own fans and custom shrouds, so that then they don't have to worry about saying that it's a fake card. You know, you don't need to make a bunch of fake brands on here because people will fall for this. You know, we fell for it, kind of. Looking back though, we know fake cards. I don't know why we bought this, we just did, and we were like, maybe it'll be real.
Yeah, and when you go to install drivers, that's the biggest thing. It literally will let you go through the process of installing drivers, but then fail every single time. So if you knew what card this was, which you could take it apart, look at, but you know what, I don't even want to look at this thing. It's disgusting. It's just get rid of it. It is, yeah. So,
yeah, this is a working card though. We could use it for something, but I think we paid what, like well over $100, and a 450 is, I mean, maybe like a $20 card. So we definitely got scammed on this part.
So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is open this thing up and talk about how we fixed it, because, well, we fixed it. So to fix this PC, well, it was very simple. We added a graphics card. What we added was a low profile variant of a GTX 1050 Ti. These cards do come with the normal brackets already also, but it comes with like an adapter. So if you wanna put in like an Optiplex or something, you can do that. But it was a used card that we had on hand that we were gonna use. We had some issues with it in the system, but after putting it in here, everything's working fine, right? Or all the display outs working and everything. So just kind of a weird situation. Always keep those cards if you can. But yeah, 1050 Ti is gonna be a way better card. I mean, it's gonna perform better than a 960, and also it's, well, newer. So paired with the E5 2620, it's not a V2, V3 or anything. It's a basic 2620, which is a 6-core 12-threaded processor. It is an older Xeon. The clock speed is kind of low, so we are limited there. But we did do an all AliExpress build with a V3 version, and it was actually pretty comparable. It could play decent esports titles at well over 100 plus FPS with a decent graphics card, an actual 960. But with the 1050 Ti, I do have decent expectations because overall this build looks pretty good. I was very happy with the Cool Moon fans, really like those fans. The case is decent. Will we really recommend you buy from Wish? No, but as you can see in the benchmarks we're about to play, it can actually play some games. So let's just go ahead and cut to some benchmarks real quick, shall we?
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now that we have this Wish PC all booted up and actually working, let's talk about a couple benchmarks real quick. Now, we decided to run this PC through a handful of benchmarks, those being Minecraft, Fortnite, and Chivalry 2. We're not going to push this thing to its absolute limits because, well, it's not going to play much more than those games, and in some of those games it has some issues, but I'll talk more about that here in a second. But the main goal of this video was to show you that the other components in this Wish PC actually work. Are they great? No, not really. Are they still worth picking up? no, not really, but we wanted to make a functioning computer because we invested all this money into a PC. A lot of people are like, well, now you just have a brick that doesn't do anything. Well, we decided to take a graphics card that we had extra and make it actually a usable computer. So this is what you get. First up, in Minecraft, we average 60 FPS, which you should expect in a game like Minecraft, but I'm starting to realize that E5 Xeon that we got is not the greatest thing in the world. The E5 2620, only boosting up to 2 gigahertz in Minecraft for some reason. That's probably the limiting factor here in terms of the performance we're getting, only getting about 60 FPS. Also, that SSD that we got isn't the fastest thing in the world, and I have noticed it's really, really slow in loading in textures and stuff. It's probably just a really cheap SSD, so do keep that in mind. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but a combination of the CPU and the storage is probably holding us back a little bit. The RAM could be as well. I mean, it could be slower memory. There's just a lot of weird variables with this PC, but lowering the render distance, of course, you get well over 100 plus FPS in Minecraft. It's super easy to do on pretty much any PC you throw at it, but it's just something to keep in mind. It's not going to be great still, even though we added 1050 Ti, but it is, well, functional compared to the other PC. Next up, in Fortnite on Pro settings, we didn't go in performance mode here because I've been dealing with some issues with performance mode that I think I've ironed out, but I wanted to go back to Pro settings, which is epic view distance, everything else on low. I don't care if the new Pro settings are in performance mode. My old Pro settings are epic view distance, everything else on low, so we're gonna give that a shot, and we averaged 100 plus FPS for the most part. There were some dips below 100 down to 60 here and there, and it was a little bit jarring, so trying performance mode probably would be your best bet if you have a PC like this. Performance mode is designed for lower end hardware, but I just wanted to see how this thing will perform in DirectX 11, which normally is the most stable for Fortnite, considering that performance mode is actually still in alpha or beta, one or the other. It's not officially released yet, so keep that in mind when using performance mode. If you're having issues, it's not totally ironed out yet, but I was able to get a kill, so that's all that really matters in Fortnite, right? I can't really say too much about the other PC I tested. I really struggled to actually get a kill, even on the all eBay PC. I don't know what was going on there, but regardless, getting over 100 FPS in Fortnite is actually still pretty good. And last but certainly not least, we tested one of our favorite games right now, Chivalry 2, and on low settings, we averaged close to 60 FPS. We were experiencing some dips below 60 when getting into high action scenes. Chivalry 2 does have a lot of stuff going on, especially in the 64 player mode, where you just have a lot of people running out of castles. So there's a lot of stuff rendering in, there's a lot of issues that can happen in terms of performance, and on lower end PCs, you're gonna struggle. So in recap, we wanted to make this video, as I mentioned, to show you guys that we could make a functioning PC on Wish. Is it actually worth picking up? No, I still won't recommend or link things to Wish down below. I might link some of the parts in this video, like the 1050 Ti, the case, the RGB fans, maybe that combo on AliExpress, but I'm kind of weary about the combo right now because that CPU is not the greatest. There are better CPUs on the market. I'd be willing to bet an i5 2400 from an Optiplex is a better value than the Xeon right now, but yeah, I'll recommend some of this stuff, not all the stuff, but overall, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully you enjoyed us trying to fix this thing up. How we're going to bring Jackson back in here to wrap this video up real quick.
Hey guys, Future Matt here. After watching how we ended the Wish video, I figured you all would be actually interested in seeing what was actually inside this, well, fake graphics card. So instead of it being a 960, we're gonna find out if it actually is like a GTX 450 or, well, what other people thought it was. So yeah, we're gonna cut to a time lapse real quick and just see what we got here. Okay, so it looks like we have a GF116. I'm not totally sure off the top of my head what that model number is, but I will have it on screen right here when I look it up. But yeah, clearly it's not a 960. Obviously we knew that, but for those at home who really want to know specifically what GPU was underneath this thing, well, there you go.
Alright guys, so overall, the Wish PC, after we upgraded it, really not bad. We have not had a single issue with it, and really from the start, even with that fake graphics card, it did work out of the box. You just really could not play any games, but hey, this 1050 Ti low profile really came in clutch for this PC.
It's not the best value PC for the money. There are better ways you can get a PC that performs better and probably is priced a little bit better, but for the sake of interesting content, we actually got a working PC with a nice case and some nice RGB. We've gotten a lot of compliments on the RGB in this. A lot of people around the office really like these fans, and we do too. So So if you want to pick up these fans or some of the parts in this build, I'll actually leave links down below to other websites. Probably wouldn't buy directly from Wish because it takes forever, but most of this stuff, minus probably like the case or whatnot, you can actually get from places other than Wish. So links down below will be affiliate links, and if you do purchase using those links, they will help us out.
So we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you haven't already, check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toasterbros. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Now, if you want to buy this PC, we actually are selling it over at PCBros.tech. If you think it's very beautiful, which we do, it's a really good PC to pick up, and you can buy a bunch of other PCs also. We have some good options.
So make sure to check out PCBros.tech. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.